On September 4, 2006, Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter, tragically passed away while filming Ocean's Deadliest, a documentary exploring the world's most dangerous marine animals. While snorkeling in the waters of the Great Barrier Reef, Irwin encountered an 8-foot stingray. As he swam closely behind the animal, which typically avoids human contact, the stingray suddenly whipped its tail upward in defense, striking Irwin with a powerful barb directly into his chest. The stingray's barb pierced Irwin's heart, causing a fatal injury. Although his crew immediately pulled him from the water and attempted CPR, their efforts were sadly unsuccessful. The incident was captured on film as cameras were rolling for the documentary, though the footage was never publicly released out of respect for his family and legacy. Irwin's sudden passing at the age of 44 shocked fans around the world, who knew him for his larger-than-life personality and unwavering commitment to wildlife conservation. Goodbye to Gravity, a Romanian metal band, faced a tragic disaster on October 30, 2015, during their album release concert at Collective nightclub in Bucharest. A pyrotechnics display ignited the club's soundproofing foam, causing a devastating fire. The blaze spread rapidly, leading to a stampede as attendees tried to escape. Sadly, 64 people lost their lives, including 4 band members: Vlad Telea, Mihai Alexandru, Bogdan Inache, and Alex Pascu. The incident led to national mourning and sparked significant protests over corruption and lax safety regulations in Romania. On April 15, 1984, while performing live on television, Cooper began his act in front of a packed audience and millions watching on TV. Suddenly, he clutched his chest and fell backward. Because of his reputation for mixing comedy with deliberate mistakes, the audience thought his collapse was part of the routine. They laughed and applauded, assuming Cooper was playing his usual role as the bumbling magician. However, behind the scenes, it quickly became clear that Cooper was in grave trouble. The show's host, Jimmy Tarbuck, and other performers scrambled to attend to him, yet the cameras remained on the stage for a few more moments. Unaware of the severity of the situation, Cooper had suffered a massive heart attack on stage, and while the audience waited for the next part of the show, medics rushed to revive him behind the curtain. Tragically, he was pronounced dead shortly after being taken to a nearby hospital. The popular Indonesian dangdut singer, known for her daring performances with cobras in her neck, was tragically died on April 4, 2016. During a live performance in Karawang, West Java, Irma was bitten by a king cobra snake that she used as a prop on stage. Despite initially refusing treatment, believing the venom had no effect, she later collapsed and was rushed to the hospital where she was pronounced dead. On November 5, 2023, Filipino radio broadcaster Juan Johnny Walker Jumalon was tragically killed during a live broadcast. Juan Jumalon, a beloved personality known for his lighthearted broadcasts on 94.7 Gold Mega Calamba FM, was not involved in controversial reporting. His program focused on spreading good vibes and jokes. The attack occurred early in the morning at Jumalon's home in Calamba, Misamis Occidental. 2 men arrived under the pretense of making an announcement about lost belongings. One assailant held a staff member at gunpoint, while the other entered the radio booth and shot Jumalon twice. The gunman then stole a necklace and fled with a third accomplice on a motorcycle. The entire incident was caught on a Facebook live stream and CCTV. On June 13, 2009, Mitsuharu Misawa, a celebrated Japanese professional wrestler, tragically lost his life during a live wrestling match in Hiroshima. Misawa was renowned for his intense, high-flying style and technical skill, qualities that made him a legend in Japanese wrestling. In the ring that night, Misawa was taking part in a tag team match when he was lifted for a suplex. In an instant, the atmosphere changed. Misawa collapsed in the ring, unresponsive. The move had resulted in a severe spinal cord injury, and it was clear to everyone in attendance that this was more than just an act. The live broadcast turned somber as officials, medical staff, and wrestlers rushed to his aid, performing CPR in the ring. Spectators, both in the arena and those watching on television, held their breath as medical personnel continued to administer emergency care. Despite immediate intervention, Misawa was quickly transported to a nearby hospital, where he was tragically pronounced dead. She was a talented singer and former contestant on The Voice that tragically died on June 10, 2016. After a concert in Orlando, Florida, she was signing autographs for fans when a gunman approached and shot her. Despite immediate medical attention, Christina succumbed to her injuries. The assailant, who was tackled by her brother, then took his own life. Christina Grimmie was just 22 years old. Sib Hashian, renowned as the drummer for the iconic rock band Boston, tragically passed away on March 22, 2017, while performing on a cruise ship. Hashian, born on August 17, 1949, was 67 years old at the time of his death. He had been a key member of Boston, contributing to the band's signature sound with his powerful drumming on albums like their self-titled debut and Don't Look Back. On the day of his death, Hashian was performing aboard a Legends of Rock cruise, a themed cruise featuring classic rock acts. During the performance, Hashian suddenly collapsed on stage. The cruise ship was sailing off the coast of the United States, and despite immediate medical attention and attempts to revive him, he was pronounced dead. Reports indicated that Hashian had been battling kidney cancer in the months leading up to his death. This diagnosis, coupled with his passing while performing, was a significant blow to fans in the rock community. The incident occurred during a live performance on the cruise, but it remains unclear if the performance was being broadcast or recorded for public consumption at the time. On March 22, 1978, Karl Wallenda, the legendary high-wire artist, met a tragic end while performing one of his most daring stunts, a tightrope walk between the towers of the Condado Plaza Hotel in San Juan, Puerto Rico. At 73 years old, Wallenda was still pushing the limits of his art, embodying the thrill and danger that had defined his career. Known for his incredible balance, skill, and fearless approach to high-wire acts, Wallenda had captivated audiences for decades with his breathtaking stunts. On that fateful day, strong winds buffeted the wire as Wallenda carefully made his way across. Suddenly, he lost his balance and tragically fell to his death, a moment captured on camera. Though not broadcast live, the footage later circulated, bringing a somber reality to his legendary status. Wallenda's passing marked a heartbreaking moment in the world of circus arts, as he had become a symbol of extraordinary bravery and dedication to his craft. His death underscored the immense risks he undertook in every performance, and ended the career of a man who had lived his life on the edge. Another person who died while performing was the American singer famous for his unique falsetto voice and ukulele performances. His name was Tiny Tim. He gained fame with his hit Tiptoe Through the Tulips in the 1960s. On November 30th, 1996, while performing at a gala benefit in Minneapolis, Tiny Tim suffered a heart attack on stage. He was rushed to the hospital but was pronounced dead shortly after. On May 23, 1999, during a WWE pay-per-view event called Over the Edge, saw a tragic incident. Owen was performing a stunt where he was supposed to descend into the ring from the rafters using a harness and grapple line. However, something went wrong during the stunt, causing Hart to fall approximately 78 feet and land in the ring. Despite immediate medical attention, Owen Hart succumbed to his injuries. WWE never released the official video of his falling. Indian singer KK, whose full name was Krishnakumar Kunath, passed away on May 31, 2022. KK was a celebrated playback singer in the Indian film industry, known for his versatile voice and memorable contributions to Bollywood music. Born on August 23, 1968, in Delhi, KK began his career as a singer in the 1990s and quickly gained recognition for his soulful and emotive voice. He recorded songs in various Indian languages, including Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, and Bengali. Some of his most popular tracks include Tadup from Hum Dil De Chukai Sanam, Pyar Ke Paal from Hate Story, and Kya Kehna from Kya Kehna. KK's death occurred during a live performance in Kolkata. He was performing at a concert at the Nazrul Mancha Auditorium when he suddenly collapsed. Despite being rushed to a nearby hospital, he was pronounced dead on arrival. The cause of his death was reported as a cardiac arrest. KK was 54 years old at the time of his passing. His untimely death shocked the Indian music industry and his fans, leaving a significant void in the world of playback singing. She was an experienced trainer at SeaWorld Orlando. During a routine interaction with an orca named Tillicum, the whale unexpectedly grabbed her and dragged her underwater. Despite efforts to rescue her, Brunchot succumbed to her injuries. The incident shocked the world and sparked debates about animal captivity and trainer safety. She tragically passed away on February 24, 2010. On March 12, 2023, Pedro Henrique, a celebrated Brazilian guitarist known for his electrifying stage presence and exceptional skill, tragically passed away during a live performance at a music festival in São Paulo. Henrique, only 39 years old, was in the midst of an energetic set when he suddenly collapsed on stage, stunning the audience. Known for his work with prominent bands and a successful solo career, Henrique had built a reputation as one of Brazil's finest guitarists, captivating fans with his passionate, soulful playing. Emergency personnel rushed him to a nearby hospital, but he was sadly pronounced dead upon arrival. The cause was later determined to be a heart attack, a devastating shock to fans, friends, and fellow musicians who knew him for his dynamic performances and love for music. Dick Shawn, a well-known comedian and actor, died unexpectedly while performing on stage. On April 17, 1987, Sean was performing a comedy routine at the University of California, San Diego, when he suddenly collapsed. At first, the audience thought it was part of the act, but it soon became clear that something was seriously wrong. Sean suffered a heart attack and was pronounced dead shortly after being rushed to the hospital. He was 63 years old. Sean was famous for his roles in films like It's a Mad, 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 Mad World and The Producers, and his sudden death during a live performance was a shock to many. Legendary guitarist for Pantera and Damageplan was tragically killed on December 8, 2004. During a Damageplan concert in Columbus, Ohio, a gunman rushed the stage and shot Darrell multiple times, killing him instantly. 3 others were also killed before the shooter was taken down by a police officer. Darrell, known for his influential guitar work and energetic performances, was 38 years old. South African rapper and dancer Costa Titch, whose real name was Konstantinos Sobanoglu, tragically died on March 11, 2023, during his performance at the Ultra South Africa Music Festival in Johannesburg. While on stage, he collapsed twice, with the second collapse proving fatal. Despite quick medical attention, Costa Titch was pronounced dead shortly after the incident. The exact cause of his death remains unconfirmed, with speculations about a possible seizure. On May 11, 2019, while performing in a wrestling match at the Roundhouse venue in Camden, London, Silver King, a Mexican wrestler and actor, tragically passed away. He collapsed in the ring during a bout and was pronounced dead shortly afterward. Lillian Hardin Armstrong was an American jazz pianist, composer, arranger, singer, and bandleader. She was born on February 3, 1898, in Memphis, Tennessee, and was the second wife of Louis Armstrong. Known for her performances with jazz bands and her collaborations with notable musicians such as Earl Hines, Armstrong had a significant impact on the jazz scene. After Louis Armstrong's death on July 6, 1971, Armstrong traveled to New York for his funeral and rode in the family car. Following the funeral, she returned to Chicago with plans to continue working on her autobiography. However, on August 27, 1971, while performing at a televised memorial concert for Armstrong, she collapsed at the piano and died from a heart attack on the way to the hospital. She was 73 years old. Bruce Lee, the legendary martial artist and actor, died unexpectedly on July 20, 1973, at the age of 32. Known for his groundbreaking films like Enter the Dragon and his philosophy on martial arts, Lee's death shocked the world. He was in Hong Kong working on a film when he collapsed. The official cause of death was cerebral edema, a swelling of the brain, possibly caused by a reaction to a painkiller he had taken earlier. Hungarian music star Zoltan dies during Swedish live TV show. He was performing for a video recording when he had a sudden heart attack and collapsed in front of camera. Many German and Hungarian newspapers then questioned his natural death and considered it a planned murder. The legendary Congolese musician, known for pioneering soukous music, Papa Wemba died on April 24, 2016, during a performance at the Femua Music Festival in Abidjan, Ivory Coast. He collapsed on stage, and despite immediate efforts to revive him, he was pronounced dead shortly after. Papa Wemba's music career spanned decades and influenced generations, blending traditional African rhythms with modern sounds. Just like his father, Brandon Lee also died in a tragic accident on March 31, 1993, during the filming of the movie The Crow. During a scene where Lee's character is shot, a prop gun that was supposed to fire blanks instead discharged a real bullet fragment. The gun had been improperly prepared. A bullet with no powder had lodged in the barrel during a previous scene. When the blank was fired, it propelled the lodged bullet fragment, hitting Lee. Lee was struck in the abdomen and collapsed. He was rushed to the hospital where surgeons tried to save him, but after several hours of surgery, he was pronounced dead. The official cause of death was a gunshot wound. On October 11, 1991, Red Fox, the beloved comedian famous for his role in the television series Sanford and Son, collapsed on the set of the television show The Royal Family while rehearsing a scene. Fox was rushed to the hospital but was pronounced dead shortly after arrival. His death was attributed to a heart attack, which he suffered at the age of 68. Barbara Weldons, a talented French singer-songwriter, tragically passed away on July 19, 2017, during a live performance at the Léo Ferré Festival in Gourdon, France. Known for her captivating voice and artistic expression, she had recently released her debut album and was gaining recognition in the music world. During her performance, Weldons, who often performed barefoot, accidentally stepped on faulty electrical equipment. This resulted in a fatal electric shock, causing her to collapse on stage. Despite immediate efforts to save her, Weldons was pronounced dead at the scene, leaving fans and the music community in shock. She was only 35 years old, and her untimely death cut short a promising career. On May 21st, 2016, Nick Menza, the former drummer of the band Megadeth, tragically collapsed on stage while performing with his band OHM at a club in Los Angeles. Efforts to revive him were unsuccessful, and he was pronounced dead at the scene. On May 1st, 2017, Colonel Bruce Hampton, a revered musician and pioneer in the jam band scene, passed away during a live performance in Atlanta. The concert, a star-studded 70th birthday celebration, featured Hampton performing with notable musicians from his extensive career, including members of his bands the Hampton Grease Band and Aquarium Rescue Unit. During a high-energy jam session, Hampton collapsed on stage, seemingly resting his arm on a speaker. At first, both the audience and his fellow musicians thought it was part of his theatrical style, known for blending humor and unpredictable antics into his performances. However, as the moments passed, concern grew as it became apparent that Hampton was in serious distress. Medical personnel quickly arrived and rushed him to the hospital, where he was sadly pronounced dead later that evening. Hampton's passing marked a profound loss for the music world, especially within the jam band and improvisational music community. On 26 May 2023, during a performance in the Bronx, Formell suffered a fatal heart attack at the age of 59. He was a Cuban musician and composer.